Yeah. So today we'll be talking about I wrote a hackmd file. I like writing hackmds actually. I mean it helps. Yeah, so I wrote a hackmd file about ERC-20, ERC-115, and ERC-721 tokens. I mean, it should be otherwise. Yeah, so today we'll be talking about working with ERC-20, ERC-115, and ERC-721. Yeah, so I just feel like today is going to be an interesting class because we are going to be deploying our first token. Each and everybody will deploy their token. Yeah, everybody will deploy their token, and we are going to create an NFT if we have time. I pray we have time. Then the third one, probably I might just explain what it is. But we'll be focusing more on ERC-20 and ERC-721. Yeah. I would want everybody to create their own token on testnet. You're going to see it on your MetaMask. You can mint it and do everything. Yeah. So let's get right to it. Don't worry about. So now you might be asking, what are tokens? ERC-20 specifically. So ERC-20 is the most widely used standard for fungible tokens, those where each token is identical and interchangeable. Yeah. So ERC stands for what? Ethereum request for what? Comment. ERC stands for Ethereum request for comments. So I'll ask this question later in the class to make sure you guys are following. Yeah. So now you might be asking, what are the key features of ERC-20? What are the key features of ERC-20? So the first one is what? Fungibility. Each token is equivalent to all others. Each token is equivalent to all others. They might have different value, but they are all the same thing at the end of the day, because you can still use it to purchase stuffs, you can still use it to make transactions, and they all at the end of the day do a specific thing. Yeah, so the second one is what's used for cryptocurrency, utility tokens, and what? Stable coins. Yeah, we use that for cryptocurrencies, utility tokens, and what? Stable coins. Stable coins like USDT and USDC. So we have popular examples like USDT, DAI, Uni, and Link. So before we go to core functionalities, let's go to, I think I opened some tabs. Where is it ready? I'm going to see this one. Yeah. So let's come to this. I think they explained it better here. So the ERC-20 is a popular fungible cryptocurrency token compatible with Ethereum or EVM compatible blockchain. It serves as a digital asset that can represent anything on the blockchain. I'm going to do more of I'll do a little bit of theory before we get into code. Like, I need you guys to understand what it actually does. Yeah. So, which enables flexibility for many use cases. So this preset, smart contract, contains a specific interface that allows it to be used as a technical standard for development. Developers can leverage the ERC-20 and its associated It's associated token rules for an easier developer experience. So popular decentralized exchange like protocols like Uniswap, SushiSwap, both leverage the ERC-20 standard as building blocks for its seamless, compatible integration into their ecosystem. So how are ERC-20 used? So as the ERC-20 token has no restrictions on what it can represent, it can expand further beyond typical cryptocurrency. That is it. As a requirement, ERC-20 assets are fungible, transferable, and can be limited to a max worth supply. We'll talk about max supply when we start writing our code. So this is useful when creating rewards, physical objects, shares of a company, and much more. So designed to standardize the development of tokens, the ERC-20 token can represent any fungible asset on the blockchain, on the Ethereum blockchain. So by providing a few variables to represent a particular asset, e.g. name, supply, symbol, anyone can launch an ERC-20 with the standard behavior and interface. So basically what I'm trying to say is anyone can deploy and create an ERC-20 token. You get. So there are platforms where you can even create it without writing code. So if you have any question, please just call my attention. Yeah, we anticipate. Yeah, so I was saying, so why is ERC-20 token standard? So the ERC-20 token standard introduces a specific approach for fungible tokens, ensuring that they all share similar properties. Since its proposal in 2015, the development of ERC-20 standard allows other protocols, platforms, and developers to create smart contracts that can be used that can use any token following the standard without creating special logic for each new token. So the standardization for smart contract enhances the development process and in turn greatly benefits the entire crypto ecosystem. So what Solidity functions are mandatory for all ERC-20 tokens. So what you are saying here is for you to create an ERC-20 tokens, you need to have a specific function. Like without those functions, ERC-20 token doesn't exist. So you need to have some specific functions which we are going to talk about. I think I gave a short description here. But mine wasn't that long because I had to like wash and write the RKMD. Yeah, that's why I say total supply. This is more like returning the total token supply. Then the balance of returns token balance of an address. So it can be any address. You just have to pass in the address there to return the balance of that particular address. Then transfer who you are sending to, which is send tokens to a recipient. Transfer from, which means transfer tokens between accounts. This is more like to from amount, or is it from to amount? Again. So we have the approve allows a spender to withdraw up to an amount. Now, what this means here is, I think I will explain this further. I'm just showing you what they do. Then we have allowance. This more like becomes many tokens a spender can withdraw. It means that this allowance just means let's say I give you access to my ERC-20 token. Now it doesn't mean you have access to spend everything. Again, it's more like there's a specific access you have to it, which you can be able to spend, which means like returning the token spender, returning remaining token spender can withdraw. So tokens are smart contracts that represent assets or utilities. Ethereum uses standards to make sure these tokens can be used and recognized across wallets, dApps and what exchange. So this is a basic implementation of what ERC7 and ERC20. So we're going to write this in our code. But before we do that, let's get to know what this does exactly. So the ERC20 token contains a set of methods and events that must be present in every implementation of the standard, including methods of transfer value, look up balances for addresses, and retrieve other metadata. An understanding of the distinctions of the Solidity language and a practical knowledge of how to use functions to create ERC20 tokens on Ethereum. So we are going to go to, I'm not sure if, no, but we're going to be using OpenZeppelin to do this. Yeah, I think OpenZeppelin will be better. I want to use this one. Yeah, so now what are the functions necessary that all ERC20 tokens should have? So the first one, we have the total supply. This method denotes the current circulating supply, total supply of the tokens. Here's an example of how it should be implemented. So we have the total supply function. It should be external. It should be a read-only function, and it should return what it is 250, because we don't know how many billions of coin we want to mint or something like that. So that's why it's showing V here, because we are just reading total supply. We are not modifying the state. So we have balance of method calculates the number of tokens contained in a particular wallet address. Here's an example. So it takes in an address, then call it account, where it's still external, which means other people what? That is, this contract itself cannot call it except being called outside the contract. So view returns and determine what unit 256. So we have the transfer. The transfer method send tokens from one address to another, where the sender is the origin of the transaction. Here is an example. So now we have the transfer. The transfer is the recipient, the person receiving it. Then this is the amount. Then since it's not a read function, we don't need to specify if it's a view or a pure. So it's returning what? A bool. So we have the approve. The approve method allows another address. We are going to implement all of this. So the approve method allows another address to spend tokens on on your behalf. This is useful when interacting with smart contract that needs access to your tokens. A popular use case for the approve method is a decentralized exchange. Here's an example. So this approve just approves that, okay, this so stuff has been executed. You get, or it approves that the spender has access to your tokens. You get. So this is the spender, the person spending the money, and this is the amount the person is going to spend. So yeah. Then we have the transfer from. This method is useful together with the approve method. Once you approve someone to spend your tokens, they can transfer from your account to another account as a part of transaction. A good use case is a decentralized exchange, more like doing P2P, something like that. You get. So we have transfer from. This is the sender, the person who owns the token. Is the recipient, the person you give access to. Then is the amount the person wants to withdraw. So we have the allowance. So the allowance method is the amount one address can spend on behalf of another address. Here's an example. So it's more like, I explained this before, it's more like a specific amount another address can spend on behalf of what another address. Let's say I give you access to my account, doesn't mean you can spend everything. So there's a particular amount you should spend that will I'll probably give you access to. Yeah, so let's proceed. So what Solidity functions are optional for ERC20 tokens? So we have the name, we have the symbol. Now this name is just the name of your token you want to give it. Now let's take example. We have Ethereum. Ethereum is the name, while ETH is the word symbol. So in this case, we have the name. Let me zoom in. I don't know if you guys can see like this. So we have the symbol. Now the symbol is just like we have Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the name. The symbol of Bitcoin is what? BTC. You get. So we have the decimal. Decimal defines the denomination of the smallest unit of the currency. It's almost commonly 18, which is the denomination of Ether. The smallest unit of Ether is Wei. 1 Ether is what? 1 Wei. So decimal is just the amount of zeros that you should have for something like that. Yeah, the amount of zeros. Yeah. So what are ERC-20 data structures? ERC-20 data structures like tables of balances and allowance facilitates the organization and implementation of what? Of the blockchain. So we're gonna need mapping. Yeah, we're gonna need mapping for this. 2 mappings set. Why the other one will be a nested mapping? Yeah, the other one will be for allowance, will be a nested mapping. Yeah. So that is all. I just want to show you guys the particular functions we need. Yeah. So now how do we create and what deploy our ERC-20 token? So I have explained what we need here. So we need the symbol name and what these are optional about is actually needed. So for those of you following me, please, I'm going to need you to like follow me because we're about to create our own token on Ethereum. Yeah. So what's the first thing we need to do? So first you need to do what? Create a file. So let's go and do that. I have already created mine. Look at it on my wallet, but I'm still going to create another one. Yeah, I don't know if you can see my screen. But yeah, I've already created a token this morning. You can see I called it my token. And I have 10 million token max supply. Then I can even send it to someone. But yeah, I don't want to use this. I want us to create our own from scratch now. So yeah, so let's do that. Where's my remix? Yeah, this one is my NFT that I created. Where is all this? Yeah, so I don't need to explain this. I'm coming. So let's just create our token now. Let's create our token. So we're going to call it ERC-20 token dot so. So I'm going to give it my name as the token. So like I said, always use the word latest version, or instead of this, I think there's a more better, this is better. Yeah, always use the word latest version. So after this now, we have our, before I even start writing the code, where is it? So I think, I don't know if we should use this one for the process. So, we have two ways of writing. Where am I going now? So we have two ways of writing, of creating and deploying a token. So the first one is importing it from what? OpenZeppelin. Yeah. So what is OpenZeppelin? OpenZeppelin is more like they've already created our function for us. Like they've already done everything. All we need to do is just to use their function. Because sometimes you might write it by yourself and you might miss something. So it is highly recommended you use OpenZeppelin's own. But yeah, at least you should know what they do and how they work. Yeah. But we're gonna do both. We're going to do both, but I'll start with the hard way before we go to the simple way. Please zoom your screen. Okay, I'm going to zoom your screen. Yeah, we're going to start with the hard way, which is we're going to write it. Then I'll show you guys how to do it the easy way, so that I think the easy way will be better because we are using OpenZeppelin's own code. We just import it and use it, so no need to write code from scratch. But we're going to write for ERC-20 from scratch. Then the ERC-721, we're going to use OpenZeppelin's own. Yeah. So let's go. Hope you guys are active for this class.
Boss, we are always with you, sir.
No, let's go there. Yeah. So first thing we need to do, as always, is what? Our contract. Then I want to call this Martin token. Martin token. Martin what? Let me zoom in my screen. Martin token. So let's go back to our file we're following. So I don't want to. So this is the first way to do it. Let's go to OpenZeppelin. So they even give us a shortcut. So this is the short way to do it. We can either do it like this. You can see it's very simple like this. Don't need to stress yourself. You can just copy this code and you create your ERC-20. But I want us to do it the hard way because now we are importing it, so we are just using it directly in our account. Then we are calling it my token and MTK. So then inside you have the main function. Yeah. So we're gonna do this one later. So let's go to the hard way. So so all these imports you are seeing here, all these imports, this is where they are getting it from. The OpenZeppelin GitHub page. Yeah, you can see if you come here, you have your OpenZeppelin. You're going to see all their code, their files, and everything. You see everything. Yeah. But now we're interested in what? Solidity. So we'll just go back to what we were. So, and now you can see where we are importing all those stuff from. You can see they've already written everything for us. All we need to do is just import it, import everything, then use their function instead of us writing everything from scratch. So we are going to be importing it as 20, then we are going to use some of your functions they have here. But I don't want to do that. We're going to write all this from scratch. So yeah, when you do it the hard way, the easy way will not be better. At least you know that you know it. Yeah, so this is the ERC-721. Then they also have the ERC-115. There are many ERCs, like they have ERC-6909. They have many of them. They have many of them. They have ERC-70, I think. Yeah, they have many of them. Yeah. So for now, we're not going to be using all these. Let me close them. I'm not going to be using the. Then we might just keep this one open in case we want to reference anything. Yeah. Yeah. So. Yeah. Yeah. Where am I? Where am I? Nope. Yeah. So let's go to the hard way. So you can see what I was talking about. So this is the means we're gonna have in our function. But I don't want to do all this. So this is the deploying process. So this is the easy way. This what everything they are doing here is more like the easy way. So we're not going to be following this. We're going to do it our way. So coming. Let me go to my code for this. So this is Let me bring in the RKMD I wrote. So let me do this. Yeah. Yeah, so as I was saying, now each ERC has an interface. This is it. Let me zoom in. So each ERC has an interface. It has an interface. So like I say, we have what, 6 functions: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we have what, the event we are going to be using. We're going to be using the event. And so we have the transfer event and the approval event. And the transfer event, the approval event has another has 3 values here. Then we have the mapping. We have 2 mapping here: the basic mapping and the mapping within inside another mapping. Kind of inside that your mapping, another mapping there inside, that kind of stuff, type shit. Yeah. So let's start with our interface. So we declare an interface. This interface is more like a blueprint of what we are going to have here. It's more like a blueprint. If you guys start doing Solidity or Cairo, you're gonna see this interface very well. It's more like a trait. Then you have your implementation block. But let's not talk about that. But just know that even in Solidity, we have interfaces. Yeah, if you guys remember, even in TypeScript, sorry, we have interfaces. Yeah. So hope you guys are seeing my screen. Yeah. All right. So let's go back to our code. So we need our interface, and we're going to call it ERC. Where is it? So the first thing is we do is what? Inside this, we're gonna have interface. They want to call the interface IERC. This I just stands for interface ERC-20, nothing much. Then now the first function I told you guys should we're gonna do this together. So the first function is what? It's called to have total supply. We have total supply. So total supply is a view only, a read only, sorry. Need to make this external, then view. So it's going to be returning a uint 256, because the reason why I'm using uint 256 because it might have a large amount of total supply. So we want to do what? The balance function, balance of. The balance of will be taking in what? An address, and we have the account. So the account will be what? External view returns. We're going to return what? A uint 256. So the third one is what we're gonna have. Third one will be transfer. The transfer now is going to have the address, the person that is receiving the money, which we are going to give you recipients. Then the amount now will be what? Uint 256. Then we're going to call it amount. Then outside, we'll give it what? External. And it's going to return what? A boolean, because we want to know if the user has transferred it or not. Yeah. So the fourth one is what we're gonna have a transfer from. So the transfer from is gonna take what the sender, recipient, and amount. So the sender is gonna be an address called sender, comma. The recipient is gonna be an address still because you are receiving it through your address. So it's gonna call recipient. Then we have the amount. The amount is gonna be in 256. Then we have amount. So after so yeah, we're supposed to make it external. So I'll be returning a boolean. So the fourth one, the fifth one rather, is what? Gonna be which one again? Approve. Gonna be approve. Yeah. Or is it approve or get approved? Which one? Let me see. Approve. Okay. We're gonna approve, yeah. So approve is gonna take the address, which is the 2, and uint, which is the token ID. Yeah. Gonna take the spender address, anyone. So it all works. Yeah. So the approve is gonna take the what? The spender, which is the 2. Spender and 2 is the same thing. Gonna be address approve. So to make sure we're on the right track, we have transfer balance of approve. Yeah. Then approve have the spender and amount. Yeah. Spender. Then the amount. The amount should be 256 as usual. 256. Then we'll call it what? Amount. Sure. Then we'll call it amount. Then it's gonna be an external. Gonna be external. Yep. Gonna be external. And we're gonna have the set approver. So where is our HKMD? It should return a boolean, sorry. Then so how many functions are we waiting? So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're waiting this. So this should return a boolean. Approve should return a boolean. Returns a bool. So we have balance total supply. Then return again allowance. We haven't written allowance, I believe. Yeah. Then we have function. We have function. We're gonna name it what? Allowance. We're gonna name it function. We're gonna name it allowance. So this allowance gonna take the owner. Yeah, somebody has anything to say? Hello. Okay. Let's proceed. Yeah, so I was saying gonna have the address. and we're gonna have what spending. We're gonna have the owner and spender. This one. We're gonna have the owner and the spender. It's not. So owner, so this is gonna be external too. Then new returns. So total supply 256, balance of 256, transfer bull allowance 256, transfer from should return a bull, then approve. Who should return a bull, I believe. Yeah. So we've written our blueprint, but yeah, we still have to add our events. So we need to add our event, and our event is gonna take in what we're gonna call it transfer and approval. So it's gonna take in the address, the form, the tool, and the value. You heard? We're gonna call it transfer. So transfer is gonna be what? Address. We're gonna call it from, then address to, then 256, then amount. So now we are not done, because now we want to make this address index. We want to give it an index. And remember what index is? It makes it searchable. Makes it what? Searchable. So we want to give this index to make it searchable. Yeah, so we have the second event. The second event is what? Approval. So the approval now, we're taking what? The owner, the spender, and the value. The approval, we're taking address. We're going to make it index, then the owner, comma, then address, and we'll have the index. We're making it index again, the spender, and the value, which is the what? Amount. Yeah, so guys, we've written our blueprints. Is there anything you guys understand so far before I proceed? Because we're about to make magic now. Yeah, Olu Jimmy, you have the mic. Johnson, you can talk.
Okay, sir. Sorry to cut it short because of initially we are supposed to run our function inside our contract. So can you just go a brief back to this interface? What does this interface do? Is it the details that will be sent on the blockchain or seen on the blockchain?
Yeah, so let me go back to the interface. If you see what we have here, let me. Where is it? What did I write? So as I was saying, this interface, yeah, it's more like a blueprint. You get? It's more like a blueprint of what will happen inside our main contract. This interface is more like a blueprint. Now it's saying, okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 functions, and what is it called? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 function, and we have 2 events. We are saying, okay, anywhere we are going to use this interface, that contract, I mean, it is not a must, but that contract has to have access to everything inside there. You get? Because if you notice the total supply function, it has everything. Yeah, it has everything. Yeah, you get? It has everything. Yeah. So that is why we are adding it here, because it's more like a blueprint. It's more like saying, okay, we are going to have 6 functions in this contract. Because if you notice, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we have the constructor. Now, what do we add there? We added the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're expecting what? 1, 2, 3, 6. So now what you are saying to say here is the interface is more like a blueprint. I don't know. There's a better explanation than that. But let me try that.
That job the picture is the one you create is here share it that people apply. You are sometimes at least.
Just reaching this food and take from it.
Is it?
As a ritual yesterday, it's just food that I'm doing.
Yeah, I've charged it. Yeah, so as I was saying, the interface is more like a contract external interface. More like specifying the functions that must be implemented. Get? That's why it says like a blueprint, like a function that must be implemented. You get? And normally, when talking about interfaces, any function you write inside, it's more like saying this function must be implemented and stuff like that. So the purpose of the interface set your interface is to ensure that it provides necessary functionality. I believe your contract implements the required functions for management. You get? So another this thing you can say here is it had it's more like you are more like setting a standard. Yeah, you're more like setting a standard, and you are following the ERC token 20, ERC 20 token standard. Yeah, just for now, see it like a blueprint. For now, see it like a blueprint where all the functions inside there have to be implemented inside here. I don't know if you get. I don't know.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah, just see it as a blueprint where every function inside there has to be implemented inside there. So just see it like that. So now, what do we do next? So how do we bring in this our interface into our Martin token? How do we use it here? Because we don't know how we are going to use it here. Yeah. Or should just make this to ERC 20 token rather. Yeah, so how do we use it inside this our function? So the first thing we want to do is anytime you are bringing in a file, it can be a file, it can be an interface, it can be a function, anything. You have to do all this. Is anytime you're bringing in a new stuff, you do is ERC20. It's more like an importation. It's more like an importation that we're doing here. So what is the error? Mark that abstract. Using semicolons. What is the error we are doing? So I think there's an error. Then we have yeah, let's proceed. So I think we should just start. So we have string. So the string now is what? The first thing we need is what? The name of the contract, which is gonna be public. We're gonna make it public. Then we'll give it a what? We'll give it a name. So the second thing we're gonna need is what? A string. A string is gonna be public too. And we're gonna give it what? Symbol. Still wondering why this is showing an error. There's a token should be marked as abstract. What does that mean? Okay, let me use my array token. Okay. So it should be what? Symbol. Then the next one I want to do is what? If you have here, we have the decimal. How many points of decimal do we want to have? And total supply. So the first one is what? The decimal. So we're gonna do we're gonna do decimal like this. Since we know it's 18, we don't need to add unit 256. It's 18, let's just use 32. Since it's not going to be more than, then we want to make it public, then decimals. Then you want to do this. You want to make the total supply, which is going to be units. Let's use total supply. Which is going to be perfect there. So total supply should be hot. This let us use it. Units 32 is kind of small. Let us use unit 64. And now this is gonna be private. The one total supply is private. I will call it total supply. So now what do we have next here? We have our mapping. We have our mapping now.
You said now but the thing you say I type UBA in my listing in show. You get another 10 bank maybe OP or something. Check whether the accounts is correct.
All right. Guys, give me a second. I have to stop sharing.
I'm not correct in the person.
Sorry, sir, we are not seeing your screen. Is it network?
Yeah, I'm coming. Let me fix that. I'm coming.
Okay.
Yeah, can you see my screen now? Okay. Can anybody see my screen?
Yes, sir, we are seeing it now.
All right. As I was saying, so we need to add our mapping here. Where is it? Let's go back to our. So we need to have our mapping. We need to add our mapping. So the mapping is the first one is going to be an address. And we're going to be returning what? We're going to be returning event 256. 56. Then we want to make it a private one, then balances. I'm still wondering why this is showing me an error. Tell me. Refuse that. Contract should be marked as abstract. Okay. Let me see. Missing implementation. So 7. Okay. Let me see. What might be the error? Because you're inheriting but not implement all the function. Oh yeah. So you can see what I was saying here. Now the reason why it's showing error because now we are inheriting an interface and now we are not implementing the function. That's why I'm showing this red message because we are not we haven't implemented the function we are supposed to. That's why I say this is more like a blueprint of what we need to do inside this contract. You get? So that is a perfect example and a perfect error. So when I have another mapping, hope you guys are following, please. So inside this mapping, we're gonna have another mapping. And this second one is gonna take an address. So then this and you're in 256. Yeah, then outside your mapping, we're gonna make it a private one. Want it to be private, then we'll have the underscore allowance. So now we need the constructor. We need a constructor to the constructor. So this constructor now is going to take in a string memory, then the token name, the token of the name, the token name. Then we still need the token symbol. Still need the token symbol, string memory. Then token symbol. You just follow. I'm going to explain everything from scratch. Just keep on following. Then we have the unit 8. I mean, this is the more like this decimal, token decimal. Token decimal. Yeah, I think that's all we need for this. Yeah, and again, we need the initial supply here before I forget. Initial supply should be 256. Initial supply. So now we are done with this. Now remember this default stuff we have here. We're gonna apply it to this now. So which is name now be equal to what? Name will be equal to token name. Token name, then symbol should be equal to token symbol. Then we have the decimal. Our decimal should be equal to token decimal. Then total supply should be equal to what? Initial supply. Now there's something we want to do here. We want to do initial supply. Where is that? There's something I'm looking for. So we want to do fish. Coming. Where did I see your stuff? Where? Oh, what's it where I saw it?
noticed something in your code, sorry.
Yeah, what was it?
Yeah, when we are declaring the variables, like the state variables, for just go back for the symbol.
What is that?
Yes, for the decimals, we are using uint 32, but now in
Yeah.
the constructor we are using uint 8. Wouldn't that be an issue?
It's not actually an issue. It's not actually an issue because it's gonna be an issue. Yeah. Thank you. It's gonna be an issue because they have to be compatible with each other. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's a mistake. That's a mistake. Nice one. So for this total supply, I want to make it initial supply times I think it should be times 10. Coming. It's like, what did I say that stuff? It should be something like this. No, not this. Something like this. So it should be let me see how I did it in my own self. What did I do? So I did initial supply times 10, then double as 7 weeks of times, then decimals. All right. Okay, so this decimal, since decimal is by default is 18, so here it's gonna be 18. Then I'm gonna make it to a type of 256. Then I'm gonna do times 10. Okay. Yeah. So what we wanna do here is should be 10. Then probably not. Then I'm gonna make it 356. So this unit supervisor will take in what? Decimals. Yeah, easy. Yeah. It should work. That should work. Yeah. Nice. So after that, what do we need? What do we need there again? So I think it's not a constructor. Do you guys think we should add an emit? Yeah, so that when this constructor is executed during deployment, it's going to emit a transfer. So emit transfer. Yeah, I think so. We have the form. So it should be from address 0. Address 0 can be any address. Then the 2 should be the message of sender. I believe, message of sender. Then the amount should be the total supply of everything. Yeah, correct. So after this, we need to start implementing our function now. We need to start implementing our function. So remember, we need to implement these 6 functions, which means we're going to have 6, sorry, then I'll show you what the others will do. So the first one will be the what? Total supply. Total supply, not this total supply. Function total supply. Total supply. Then remember, we just need to do everything that is there. Simple. Just copy this. Because everything is here is going to be the same thing. So total supply might be total supply then. Total supply, then we need our now we need to implement what we're going to be returning. So we're going to be returning what? Total supply about this. I didn't send you. So when I give you an SP. Yeah, so we're gonna return what? Underscore what? Total supply. You get. So what is we have the second one? second one. So the second one now is going to return, second one is going to be what? The balance of, it's going to be the balance of. So the balance of now, what we need to do is just come here and copy it. Balance of, yeah. So we're going to do the same thing, just inside there. Since it's a read only, we're going to return what? The underscore balance. Balance is then we're going to pass in the what? Account. Yeah, then the third one is what? The transfer. Don't worry, guys. You see how this will create a token in your MetaMask. Don't worry, it will shock you. Just keep on following what I'm doing. Then the third one is what? Transfer. The transfer is going to be this transfer. So inside this transfer now, we have the recipient and amount. So it's going to take okay. Recipient amount. So I don't see okay. So it's gonna take in the MSG transfer. Does it need transfer from? The transfer should be the recipient. Transfer should have the recipient here. Not underscore transfer. Sorry, what am I doing? I'm coming. So transfer is going to do this. So I think we're going to need another function. Yeah, I'm going to need another function. I'm going to need another function called underscore transfer. So this one now will be taking in. This one will be taking in address, the sender, the recipient, and the 256. Get. So what do we change here? The address now.
Yes, I want to ask a question. Can you hear me, sir?
Stand up.
All right. So my question is,
So this is gonna be internal.
question itself.
Yeah, because we're using it inside this function, not outside. Using now is external because we're using it outside.
Now, if I'm correct, he wants us to answer the question based on.
So this is gonna be returning what? The balance. Returning what balance is. Then we're gonna check the balance of the sender. So it will be minus equal to the amount. So the balance of the sender now should reduce if you transfer. It should reduce, that's what you're saying. Well, as we're transferring, so the balance of the recipient now should increase. I think we are going to add a modifier. Balance of the recipient should increase with the amount specified. You get. Then after this, we need to do an emit of transfer because we are making a transfer. And emit of transfer. So the form is what? MSG dot what sender. Or instead of MSG dot sender, we can also do sender, yeah? We can also do sender or MSG dot sender, anyone can work. Then the two is what? The recipient. Hope you guys are following. I'm not hearing anything. Nobody's asking me anything.
We are
Okay.
observing.
All right. Yeah, so I want you guys to understand what is happening here. Okay, I think I should also know this. So the underscore balance is checking the balance of the sender, and the sender, it should reduce the amount, the balance, which is the amount of the sender, should reduce with the amount specified. And since it has reduced my own, which means the person I'm sending it to, the balance of the person is supposed to what? Increase. That's what we're doing, plus equal to amount here. You get. Then we have the emit transfer. We're trying to emit the transfer. Who was the sender, who was the recipient, and the amount. Then we can actually add the block dot timestamp. Yeah, you can actually add it, but no need. You can actually add it there. So that is what is happening there. So we need to add checks. Yeah, checks is very important because we need to make sure the person sending it is not, the sender is not equal to what? Address 0. Not equal to address 0. So then if then you should show the error message that okay. So what we are doing here is, if the sender is not equal to address 0, if the person's address doesn't start from 0, don't proceed with this transfer. Just show this error, transfer from the 0 address. Again, is instead of transfer from the 0 address, transfer from 0 address is not valid. So we're going to do the same thing with the recipient. We need to make sure that the person receiving our ERC-20 token, his address is what? Address 0. So recipient. So the address message should be the same thing. So what do we need to do again? We need to check the balance. Yeah. Require. So we need to check the balance. We need to check that underscore balance of the sender recipient. Come in. Okay. Balance of the sender is greater or equal to the amount, which means that anything you are sending, let's say I have $5 and I want to send $6. It's not going to go through because I don't have up to $6 in my account. So that's what they are trying to see. So the balance of the sender should be greater or equal to the amount. Then if not, transfer exceeds what? Balance. Or we can just do should be greater than, yeah, or equal to amount. We're going to do ERC-20 transfer what? Transfer amount exceeds what? Balance. Yeah, so what we do is correct. Don't worry about these errors. We haven't implemented the function very well. So now in this transfer, what do we do here? We're going to call the transfer function. We're going to call it. Now you can see the transfer function has the message of sender. We're going to do message energy dot what? Sender here. Then the rest should stay the same. The rest should stay what? The same. What is changing is the energy dot sender, which is the person initializing the project. Then we're going to return true here because this is a boolean. If you check the transfer, it's returning what?
Yes,
a boolean.
the reason why I was
So we should return.
I actually saw the question and most of the
So we're going to return true there that okay, this transfer was successful. So what is the next one?
When somebody's response was stated that
It's transfer from.
something like that. trading and all that.
Transfer from.
Like this,
So just copy that there.
So you look at that.
So now the transfer form is gonna
Still taking the underscore transfer because now what we are doing is what is it called? So we're going to do
so I'm just trying to
transfer.
it's just the pattern is the pattern to answer the question that is now
transfer.
because basically
Then we have the sender. If I'm correct, then recipient.
Because most of the
Account.
that's
Yeah, this, yeah. So what is the next thing we need to do? Make sure you just don't need to write anything. You can just go up there and copy the whole function because that is the same thing we're doing. So we'll just be initializing the project there. So another thing we need to do is what? Override. We need to add, yeah, before I forget, we need to add the override function, the override verifier. You guys might be asking what is override. So basically, override is used to indicate that the function is overriding a function from a parent contract. So what is the purpose of override now? You might be asking. It's just a short intentional overriding by using override. You get. So you explicitly indicate that you intend to override the parent contract function. So we are just saying it's more like a copy, or it's more like a clone, more like we're cloning everything from the function to this particular function. You get. Let's say, for example, if a function in the parent contract is changed, the compiler will throw an error if you haven't used override in the child contract. I don't know if you get. So let's say we have deployed, probably the parent contract is changed. It's going to show an error. Why? Because probably we didn't add a specific function related to that. But with the override, we are going to override the parent contract function. Again. So so we need to add override in our functions. We also come here and add what? Override. Yep. Add override there. Then we add override. Remember, I want to override the. They will come here and add override. Come here, add override. Then we're not going to add override there because this is inside our function already. So you don't need to add override there. You get. So we have the transfer from. So I've added our override. Let me just explain again because you guys might be still confusing for you guys. So what is override at first? Override is a modifier used in Solidity to specify that a function in a child contract is intentionally overriding a function with the same name and signature from a parent contract. Why use override now? By using override, we are clearly indicating that you intend to override this parent contract function. Again, compiler checks that if a function with the same name and signature exists in a parent contract, if not, throws an error. You get. So that's what override does. Hope you guys are still with me. Hope you guys are with me. Where is the transfer coming from? Okay. So so what this transfer is doing is that it's more like initializing the transfer. Get. We can still do everything here and put it here. Well, we're trying to make our code more clean. So this is more like initializing the transfer. You get. So what this is doing is taking the person sending it, the recipient, and the amount. While this here is it just needs the words. But trying to like give it an edge, you get, you are trying to like make it more secure. Why this just wants the recipient and the amount. It doesn't need the MSG.sender.
Yeah.
So we can just clean this and put MSG.sender here to still work. You get. So what this underscore transfer is doing is more like a helper function a helper transfer function. This is where the transfer is being made originally. We are just passing it in here. You get. That's why I use underscore to differentiate it that okay, this one is the underscore, this one is the transfer from the blueprint. Why this is actually the one making the transfer. Okay, so we are getting the person making the transfer, which is the MSG.sender, then the address, which is the recipient. Then we are adding check that if the person
Can I have a
making
question?
yeah.
So what I'm actually asking you guys is that look at this function transfer from, the return is as a underscore transfer. So you mean the underscore transfer is coming from this function underscore transfer?
Yeah, it's coming from here. Yeah.
So this transfer form will be inheriting everything that is inside this function underscore transfer.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Correct. And if you remember what transfer form is, if you look at this, what is transfer form? Transfer form is useful together with the approve method. Once you approve someone to spend your tokens, they can transfer from your account to another account as a part of transaction. A good use case is a decentralized exchange. Now, transfer form basically, what does it do? It just give you the sender, you are giving the recipient access to withdraw funds from your account. Now, this one now, you are the one initializing this thing. You are the one initializing the transfer. But this one now, you are giving more like an ownership to what? Recipient, not like ownership. You are just giving it access to withdraw your funds. That's why it's called transfer form. You get. So this one is trying to transfer from your account to his own because you gave it access to. You get. That's what is happening here. That's why we have checks here. That's why we have checks. Acquire recipients is not equal to address 0. We need to make sure person we are sending to is not equal to address 0. Okay. So then, yeah, as we are making the transfer, we need to check the balance of the sender. We need to make sure that the balance of the sender is reduced with the amount specified. Likewise with the recipient, with its increase with what? The amount specified. Then we emitted our transfer. Yeah, that's what's happening here. So then, what do we need again? So this transfer form, this is not all. I believe we still need to add this. The current allowance is equal to what? Allowance send down message. Then we need to add this too. So we need to add another approve function here. We'll do that later. So what do we need to do for this transfer form? So we're going to create a new variable called current allowance. The current allowance now is the what? Allowance sender and the message of sender. So we need to create another function called underscore approve. This one will be the one approving the transfer. You guys will be the one approving the transfer. So what we need to do is what? Function called what? Underscore approver. Is it approver? Approver. So this is gonna take in this owner, the spender, and the amount. So just copy this. Owner, spender, the amount. And it has to be what? Internal. It has to be internal. Since we are modifying the state, we're gonna add checks now. Now, what kind of check do we need? We need to add that the owner is not address 0 and the spender is not address 0. So we can just do that by copying this one since it's the same thing. Remember, we can use modify. We can use modifier in this case. I don't want to use modifier. I want it to be. Then we'll just change it to owner. Then we'll change this one to what? Spender. Then, yeah. So after this, all the allowance here. Where is it? So allowance. You
Can I ask you a question? Like this function approve, is it the same function, the one inside the interface, or another one?
say?
This function underscore approve, is it the same thing as the one in the interface or not?
And the one in the interface where?
You know, we wrote the function approve in the okay, this is it here. There's one in the interface, function approve, but I'm not seeing function underscore approve now down here. Okay, this
Yeah,
one.
that is what I'm saying. The same way we have the transfer, the one doing the transfer underscore transfer,
Okay.
it's the same way we're going to have the approve. So we need a function that was going to be approving that, okay, since I want to give another person's permission to withdraw, we need to create a function called underscore approve to give the user access to withdraw funds from my token, you get. So that is what we're trying to do here. So now basically what do we need to do now? So this approver, we are going to take in all this. So this underscore allowances is going to pass in an address, and that address is what's going to take another address returning what? A uint. So what do? We do underscore allowances. So the first one will be what? The address of the owner. Then how do we call a mapping inside the mapping? We just add another array here. Then the second one is taking what? It's taking another address. So we'll just pass in the spender, which is the person. Then we'll just hit it equal to what? Amount. Simple. Can you guys see? So if you look at what I did there, where is it? Allowances is equal to what? Amount. So we are setting both the owner, we are giving the owner and what? The spender the right to withdraw from this amount. You get. So this spender now can withdraw any money from this amount. So we need to what? Emit the approval. We need to emit approval. So after the person has withdrawn, we need to what? Emit approval. So the approval is going to take in what? The owner, spender, and the amount. So I know this is kind of it's kind of overwhelming, but I will still go through the contract again. So now we need to do this, create a new variable called current allowance. You get. So transfer from inside this transfer from we need to do what? Unit what? Let us use unit 256 called current allowance. You get. So it's going to be what? Equal to underscore what? Allowances, which is this one. So it's going to be equal to the owner, the person who has the contract, and the spender, the person we are giving permission to. So we not owner, recipient in this case. Yeah. Sender. or rather, where did owner come from? Goes to sender. Then you can either give it recipient or can do msg.sender. That's the person who will be initializing the project. You get who will be initializing the transfer. So after this, what do we have here? So now we want to require that the current allowance has to be greater or equal to the amount before you can be able to what? Withdraw. Before you can be able to transfer. That is what we are doing here. So we are just checking it has to be what? Equal or greater. It's greater or equal to what? The amount. So what do we need to have the required check? Before we can be able to approve, give it the allowance, gangan, we need to add the required statement. So this is going to do check the current. Let me just copy this. Is greater or equal to what? Amount. So this is going to take in this message. So I say transfer amount exceeds allowance. You get. So we want to now call the underscore the function. I want to call this underscore approve, sorry. Underscore approve. So underscore approve. So now approve is taking what? The owner, which is the msg.sender. Should be the sender, the recipient. If you look at the approve function, we have the owner, the spender, and the amount. So what do we want to do here? So transversed. So I think the owner should be the sender. Owner should be the sender in this case, not sued, sender. Yeah, anybody has any question? Then the recipient should be the msg.sender. Recipient should be msg.sender. Then the amount now will not be the current. Let me copy this. Will not be the what? Current allowance that I give it minus the original amount. Hello guys, are you guys following? So now in the end of this transfer form, it is what? Returning a what? It is returning a bool. So we're going to do return what? True. Return true. So the last thing we need to do, we are still missing one function called what? We are still missing the approve function. We are missing the approve function. Because here you can see we are using the approve function in two places.
Variable
So,
for current allowance.
Huh?
The current allowance variable, the one we are using here, we haven't created it. I think it's a local variable, I guess.
Current what?
Current allowance.
Where is this? Okay, the current allowance. No, I created it. Look at it now. That's why I gave it a unit. Where is it? It's just that I didn't give it a public.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't give it public, that's why. So I want it to be internal. By default, it's internal like this. So I just setting it to what? This. You understand now, yeah? Hello, guys. All right. You guys should just stick with me. We're almost done. I'm teaching you guys the hard way. Well, I'll teach you the easy way too, so that it's easy for you guys. So what do we want to do? So we haven't done the, to look at here, we are using what? This approve. We are using approve where? We We're using approve here in the transfer, and we're going to need to use it here too. Yes. So that is why let's copy this approve. So yeah, this is the approve. Then now, what do we want to do? We want to do underscore approve. So just copy this. Underscore approve. Then the spender now should be what? msg.sender, comma. Then so approve takes in the owner, then the spender. Then the what amount. So inside this is going to return what? True. Yeah. So I think that's all for this particular one. I think that's all. Right. Yeah, I was already do right here. So what am I missing? Transfer from current balance and then state date. All right, let's compare. Let's see if it will work. What is this showing? I think we've implemented all our function we're supposed to do. Total supply. Yeah, we have total supply here. Then balance of. We've implemented balance of. Then transfer. Transfer from. Okay, transfer rather. So I think we've done most of them. Transfer from. Approve. So you have the approve function, then allowance. So have you done allowance? I think so. Okay. We haven't done for allowance. Yeah. So we haven't done for allowance. So allowance takes in what? So we'll just copy everything here. So I have allowance should be the last underscore. So allowance should take the what? So allowance should return the allowances that we have here. Allowances, which is here. I believe sure is going to be underscore allowances, which is going to be the so it's going to be returning it actually.
Those will be the owner and spender address.
Huh?
I said it should be the owner and spender, I guess.
Yeah, owner spender. All right. So sorry, there shouldn't be comma, and this should be an array. Yeah, correct. So this is giving us an error. Compatible, correct is expected. How do we do this? How do we do this? How do we do this? Okay, let me see how I did it here. So we have 256 decimals. Okay, let me see. Which one there? Let me see. Why? I did the same thing. Coming. Probability type. Okay, I think the issue might be because I'm coming. Why are we getting spelled first in the first place? Decimals is U8. Okay, token supply. Token supply. Total supply is U56. That's right. Let me see what the error is here. Type unit but it's not compatible to expected type is string 64. Okay. Yeah. I think I found my issue. Total supply is supposed to be 256, not 56. Yeah. All right. So our code have compiled. Let me make this. Are we having yellows? So this underscore transfer, I think it's supposed to return a boolean. But it's not showing me an error here. Coming. Let's proceed. Let's proceed. Let's go transfer. Sorry. Should be internal.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Mine is showing an error. It is saying index expression has to be a type, mapping or array is address. So it is coming from line 90 of mine.
Which part in particular are you talking about?
So it is coming from I'm coming. So it is coming from this approve, the underscore approve, where we said require spender
Are you seeing it? Are you seeing my screen? Check yours and see my
screen. I made a mistake.
I
was comparing something else.
All right, guys. We've written our ERC-20 token. Now let's test it out to see if what we did is correct and is actually what's working. Are you guys ready? All right. So let's go to our deploy. So let me delete all this. Let me delete all these ones. So the first thing we want to do is what? So everybody, by default, it is set.
But you haven't written the function. Oh, okay. Go ahead. I'm coming.
Which one is that?
I think But why is it still complaining about contracts? Oh wow, what's this one again? Unnamed return variable.
What error? What error are you getting? Have you seen the issue?
69. I'm coming on line 69 on my end. This function underscore transfer. Let me just see that part. So sender address recipient internal. Okay. I guess this is what I'm getting there.
Yeah. So the first thing you want to do when deploying your token, have you gotten the? Or I should just send the code to you.
Oh, now I'm cool.
Huh? Are you okay, or should I send the code?
Yes, there's no longer error. Like you can explain, but there's no more error on my end.
All right. Before I deploy, let me just give a brief explanation of what I just did. Yeah. So we have ERC-20, which is interface ERC-20. So these are the functions we are going to implement, which is like a compulsory. If I were to remove total supply, it's going to show an error. You can see. So everything here, I'm supposed to what? And every function here, I'm supposed to implement it. Yeah, that is what they mean. So I think likewise the event. If I don't implement it, it's going to throw an error. So let me, where did I even use that event? Let me comment this. I think I use this transfer somewhere.
What?
Let me come to transfer. Okay, I don't think, okay, let me comment this thing. Okay. Okay, I don't think event is actually necessary. I don't think event is necessary. Yeah. So we need to make sure all these functions are implemented. We made it external because we don't want to use it here. We don't want to use it here. We want to use it outside here. So then we have events, then we have the address and stuff. So to make sure we are able to use this, we are gonna do this. We are gonna do is ERC-20. If I change it to another name, let's say ITTT. So I have to change this to what? ITTT. You get? So the name doesn't matter. I just give it a name that is reasonable. So then we have state variables, which is the name, symbol, decimal, and we have private supply. You get? We have private supply. So then after that, we have the mapping. I believe you guys know what mapping is. This is the key, and this is the value. And this other one has an address and is returning a mapping with an address and the value. I made it private. So we have a constructor which is going to be initialized during deployment. You get? So we set the name of the state variable to the token name, then the symbol to token symbol that we give it here, then the decimals to token decimals, then the total supply should be equal to initial supply times 10. Initially, now let's say initial supply, we give initial supply to, let's say 2. So 2 times 10 is what? 20, yeah? So what this is doing now, after the 20, we need to have 18 decimals. You get the decimal by default should be what? 18. So we need to have 18 decimals behind the initial value. So that is why we are doing double times here, and we are setting it to what? 18 decimals. You get? So we are then after that we emitted the transfer to be address 0, message of sender, and total what? Supply. Then the first one we have is what? Total supply. This is more like returning the total supply of everything we minted. So we set it to override. I told you guys what override does. It overrides this parent function. Now this now has ownership over it. You get something like that. So once we make changes here, it's going to throw an error. You get? It's going to throw an error on your console. So the second one is what? The balance of the address. Balance of the address. So the same thing, we are still overriding and we are returning a ERC-2056. So this returns the balance of any address you put in here. Then the fourth one is what? We transfer. This one is turning a boolean. So we want to make sure we want to transfer to the recipient and the amount. Then we want to return a boolean to make sure if the transfer is true or false. So the first one is what we call the transfer function. And this is the person. We call the transfer function. So this is where we wrote it. And what this is having inside is the sender, recipient, and amount. You get sender, recipient, and what? Amount. Then we are doing a check here using a require. If the sender is not equal to address 0, run this, else show that the address is not valid and stuff. So we did that for all of that, and we did that for what? The balances. So this balance now is checking the owner, the person, the sender. It's checking that the person must have an amount and it should be greater or equal to what amount. Okay. So then we also have balances, which is the sender. Now we are saying once the person transfer, we need to make sure that the sender's money is deducted with the amount specified. If I have $100 and I want to send for the recipient 20, I need to make sure that minus what amount, and we specify the amount is what, $20. So it's going to be deducted from here. So likewise with the same thing with the recipient, this one is going to be increased, going to be added with what, $20. Then we are emitting what, the transfer, the sender, recipient, and what, the amount. Then we have what, this is what the transfer is doing. Then we have the what, transfer form, which is this transfer form, like I said, we are giving what, the this in access. We are giving the specified address access to withdraw from, which is transfer from our account again. So that is why we have the transfer, and the transfer is also doing the same thing. Like I said, it's also doing the same thing. So once it transfers it, passing all this stuff, then coming, okay, yeah. Then going 256, then we created a variable called the current allowance. So the current allowance now should be what? The specified sender should be the allowance of the spend of the sender, and what, message or sender. Sender, message or sender, kind of the same thing. Yeah. So we want to check that the current allowance is equal to the amount or greater to the amount. Is greater or equal to the amount. And yeah, what were we doing? We want to approve this transfer. We want to approve this transfer that, okay, the sender now has access to it, but the message to sender now can be anybody you give access to. That's why we put message to sender here. So this guy now is now initializing this approve function. We're approving that that should be the MSG.sender that is initializing this. So then with the current all allowance minus what, the amount specified. So let's say we have $100 and you want to withdraw $20. So it's going to be the current allowance minus what, the amount specified. So if this goes through, it's going to return true. Else it's going to return false. That is what that is doing. So the approve function, this is the approve function here. Coming. Where is it? Transfer from up there. So we have the approve function. Yep. So we have the approve function. This one now is just approving the function. Then once it's approved, it's going to return what? True. Yeah. So the person that is going to approve it now is going to be who? The MSG.sender. So this guy will initialize the transfer, but this guy has to approve it. MSG.sender, you get, and the amount. So it's going to return true. So we have the allowances, the specified amount we are giving the person to be able to withdraw. So, and that has mapping, which is this mapping we have here. Yeah, so I'm passing in the owner and the spender, and it's just returning the read only. So I want to make sure the allowance is equal to what this owner and the spender. Then the transfer, we've talked about this. Then the approve, we talked about this. Yeah, so with no questions, we're gonna deploy our ERC-20 token using our MetaMask, and we're gonna import it into our what? MetaMask. So any question before I proceed? Any question, guys?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So
Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, what is it? Johnson, you have a question?
Yes, yes. And so my question is those I got lost at some of the function. So I don't know, maybe you could just also publish the code for us so that we can complete it. Like me myself, I did not finish those two last functions. So that's just my own.
Yeah, who chatted me up among you guys that should upload to
It's me,
GitHub?
it's
Somebody
me.
chatted. Jethro. So Jethro will share you guys, or I will just send. I've already published it to GitHub. Yeah, I think so. Where is it? I've
Is
already
it the same
published
the
it
same
to.
repo?
Yeah, it's the same repo. I'm doing this. Yeah,
Okay,
the
that's
same
I
repo.
will just share it.
Yeah, just share it to everybody, please. I'm going to push this particular code so you share it with them. Yeah, I've already pushed. Yeah. So let's proceed. So now I'm going
Can you hear me?
to. Yeah, I can hear you.
So I'm looking at the calculation. This total supply equals to initial supply. I was
Yeah.
saying 18 raised to power in 256. Is that correct?
Is it
This calculation.
this one? Yeah.
Okay, it is 10, not 18.
No, it is 10, not 18.
Yeah, I was actually thinking it's 18. So I was doing the I was like, would that be correct? Like 18.
Yeah, you can still set it to 18. It will still work. You can set it to any value.
I think
Again, it
18.
mustn't be 10. You get it mustn't be 10. You get. So what do we do next? Let's deploy our what contract.
Something like this function approve token and balance of token and balance and approve. You add override to it, or did you add override to it?
Which one is that? This one's here.
Balance function, balance and approve. I mean the approve, but not.
Yeah, I
Okay, yeah.
added override it. Yeah. I added
What
override to all these
what if I
functions.
don't add
I added
override to it?
override. It means that any changes that I do here is going to affect the code.
Okay.
You get? Yeah. So this I didn't add override to this one that has internal um because we are using it inside this function. We are not bringing it from outside a function. Again, we are using it inside there. So we don't need to specify it as well. We just need to put it as internal, just to be used only in this contract. You get? Is that stuff? Um, Yeah, so the first thing you want to do when deploying your contract is what? You need to make sure you have your what? MetaMask. So please listen attentively. You need to make sure you have your what? MetaMask. So this year, and also make sure that if your MetaMask is on Ethereum mainnet, which is this, make sure you change it to what? Sepolia. You change it to what? Sepolia, or you change it to what? Linear Sepolia. Anyone can work. So I'm going to change this to Sepolia. And by default, Sepolia usually comes with default value. But if you don't have any Sepolia here, you just copy this and you go to which sites? Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Somebody called me, so my network is connected. Yeah, as I was saying, I don't stack utils. I don't think stack utils. Coming, ETH, Sequoia faucets. So, well, you
You can
just
use
copy your
Google Faucet.
address. I can use what?
Google Faucet now.
Yeah, Google Faucet has issues sometimes. I don't like using that one. So,
But I don't
yeah,
think there's any
but let
other
me.
platform that.
No, there are many platforms that does it. So let's use.
Chainlink is useless. Tenderly, those ones they are mad. And which one again? Most of them they are
Let's
useless.
try Alchemy. Alchemy. Okay. So let's see if this one will work. So when we copy it, now remember I have what? I have I have 0.0137 Sequoia ETH. So once I send, it's going to increase. Let's try again. Oh, so yeah. So when I click on send me it did not complete it as expected. For me. I have it already. I just want to show you guys how you can get in case you are looking for in case you don't have it Sequoia it. Just showing you guys how you can get Sequoia it. So yeah. Let me it's your request is not complete. Let me try another one.
But I used Google Faucet just now and I got about 0.05 or something like that.
All right, let's use
Yeah,
Google
the
Faucet.
Google
I mean,
Faucet is
sometimes,
more better. The Google Faucet is more better.
yeah, I'm just giving you guys other options. Yeah, Ethereum Sequoia, then address. So we see 0.05. The way showing pending. So let's see if they will give me. Let's wait for a few seconds. Yeah, so it has been transacted successfully. So let's see if it will change. You can see from 0.01 to what 0.06. So we now have Sequoia in our MetaMask. Like I say, make sure it's on Ethereum Sequoia, not Ethereum mainnet. It's on Sequoia. So make sure you have that. So what do we want to do next? We want to change this. Please, I want you guys to watch. I want you guys to watch. We want to change this to what? Injected provider, which is what? MetaMask. Then you can customize it, but just use this injected provider as it is. When you click on it, you use it, then now you can see sometimes it's going to show you open a transaction store for you to confirm or something like that. I've already done that. That's why it didn't open up that stuff. But yeah, I want to deploy now. Make sure it was injected provider. So the token name, what do I want my token name to have? So I want to call it Martin token name. Then the symbol, I want to give it MRT. MRT. Then this thing should be 18. By default, it should be 18. So you guys should have that in mind. So the initial supply, I want to have 101 billion. I don't know how much they're able to be. I don't know, but sure, it should also put enough zeros. Then when you click on transact, it's going to open up your MetaMask. Going to open up your MetaMask. Then you click on confirm. Click on confirm. When you click on confirm, it's going to now it's showing pending. You can see, so you should just hold on a bit. So it's going to show our ERC-20 token has been deployed successfully. So we can view it on Etherscan.
But mine isn't deploying, no, it's just showing one useless error at the top. It's saying this
Are you sure
contract
what
is abstract. It may not implement an abstract parent method completely, or it may not invoke an inherited contract or constructor correctly.
Are you sure what you did was correct?
Should I share my screen?
Yeah, share your screen. Wait, I'm coming. Don't share it yet. I'm coming. Further, before you share your screen, just now we have what? This, we have the address, the person that minted it. This is my address. This is my MetaMask address. It ended with what? 69D6. You can see 69D6. So I'm the one that did this. Then this is the transaction hash. This is the person. Then yeah. It means that our ERC-20 token is what has deployed successfully. So yeah. Let's go back to let me share your screen before I continue. Share your screen.
Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes, boss. You can.
So this is my. So if I click on deploy now, it will tell me this contract may be abstract. It may not implement one useless parent method. Or it will not invoke an inherited contract.
Okay, so let me see. Hold on, don't scroll. Go. Okay. Name of token. So you have 8 functions there, and I have 6. Okay.
So
Then you have
this is state variable.
yes, go down.
So this is the constructor.
Okay, wait. Just hold on. We're gonna fix this. What might be the issue? So wait, don't scroll again. Scroll up more to the constructor. Yeah. So name, token name, symbol, balances. So your balances message or sender should be equal to total supply, not initial supply. Yeah. Wait, don't scroll, just wait. Then the times there shouldn't have space. Between the 10 and the double times there shouldn't have space. No, yeah, with the other side. The one at the right, the space at the, yeah. Then coming. Then emit transformative total supply. Okay. So scroll down a little bit. It's okay. It's too much. Scroll up more. Down. That's up.
What?
Scroll up. Up again. All right. So Have you implemented all the functions in that interface?
Yes, now.
Scroll up, scroll up.
This is allowance, everything.
Yeah, wait. So we have override that you have there. You should be after the external, not after the view.
Oh, yeah.
After external. So change it for all of them.
So it's a mistake. Yeah, that's it. Let me try it. Is this saying the same error?
You didn't compile, or did you?
It compiles now, like let me see. It's yeah, now it compiles.
Yeah, go back to your deploy then.
It's still showing this contract.
The contract may be abstract. It may
Yeah.
not implement an abstract payment method completely or may construct that.
There's still
okay.
There's still
So
one.
what?
It means the
What
one
I said
override.
is actually saying is that maybe I have to move this interface into another file. Then I make this PX
No.
abstract.
That is
like
not
that.
the case. That is not the case right now. So scroll down. Scroll down.
Maybe someone
Let me
else should
see
try
your
it on their
transfer.
end. I don't know. If someone else completed, they should try it.
Send your code. Just send it on the chat.
Go to
Send
the end
your
of
whole
your
code. Let
code.
me see.
There is one override after that's supposed to be after external.
Where is
Like
it?
to the end of your code. You missed one too. One override. Yeah, that one. Okay.
This one
The last the last one is correct.
is there now.
All right.
I only left this one because this is internal. This is also internal.
Send me your code on the chat. Send your code on the chat itself. Don't have to.
Okay. I sent it.
Then stop. Then move your screen, please. You didn't
Let
send
me
everything. I'm not.
Let me
It's not
push it to
showing
GitHub.
me everything.
I'll push it to GitHub.
No,
and
no
send
need.
it.
No. Just send me your code.
I don't think it will copy everything. Can you copy everything at once?
Control A, then Control C.
I've done that.
Then paste it in the chat.
It's not copying it. It's not the chat is not collecting everything. That's it.
Why?
I don't know.
Is there a way you can send it to me via WhatsApp?
I don't have a WhatsApp number.
Just go to the mentors announcement. Just go to Fintech, the announcement page. I was one day. Or you know what? Just send me your code later. We are going to fix it together.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So
I'll share
so
your
stop
number
sharing your
with
screen.
you.
Yeah, you can do that. So stop sharing your screen. I want to share mine. Yeah. So as I was saying, let's deploy. So make sure this thing is here and you've compiled successfully. So now look at our functions here. You can see. So when we click on decimals, we have 18. When we click on name, we have Martin, symbol, MRT, total supply. You can see that zeros I was talking about. That's 18 Look at it there. So a balance of my address. If I click on coin, it should show 0 because I don't have any money right now. So now let's import that. Let's import it. So yeah, so we should make sure that it's on Sepolia network. Need to make sure of that. Then come in. So then you come here and you copy this. Copy this address, yeah?
Can you do me a favor? Like, can I see the underscore approve? That function underscore approve.
What?
The function underscore approve. Can I just see that part? Okay, equals to amount. Okay, I'm cool.
All right, so I'm gonna make sure you're on Sepolia network, then I'm gonna look for this. Then, so if you see what I did there, you're going to come here, then you copy this address here. This is your deployed address. You copy it. This one here, you copy it. Then you go to Etherscan and make sure that it's on what Sepolia testnet. Then you just come here and start. When you click on it, then you click on the address that is there. It's going to bring you here. So then you click on this token tracker. Click on token tracker. So it's going to bring out this. Now you can see I have what? 10,000,001 MRT token max total supply and $0 market cap. But now let us bring in this into our what? Let us bring in this into our MetaMask. So you copy this contract address here. So you copy this contract address here. Then you go to your MetaMask. So I'm in my MetaMask now. So what do? You click on tokens. Then you click on tokens. Then you click on this right away here. Then you click on what? Import tokens. That contract address that you copied from here, you just paste it here. Then to automatically import your detail. You get. So this is the symbol. This is the decimal I gave. I told you by default it's 18. So when you click on next, now you can see we have Martin. Our token is what? MRT. So when you click on imports, now you are going to see what? Our Martin. You get. So that is what is happening there. So now, let me refresh again. So you can see that we have our token inside our what? Inside our MetaMask. So someone should send me their this thing. Someone should send me their MetaMask wallet address. Let me send them my token. But they have to import it, Sha. They have to import it first. So let me share it via call. Let me share it. So this is my Johnston Bibisto. So Johnston, this is my contract address. Just import it the way I did it. So is this your MetaMask wallet address? Johnston?
Yeah, yes, sir.
All right, let me send you some tokens. So import it using this contract address I sent. So I'm going to share wait, I think there's a little issue here. I'm not saying the value. That is weird. I'm not saying the value here. It's showing 0 max instead of 1,000. While here it's showing the max total supply. Okay, I think we should deploy this again. It's not supposed to show that. I'm coming. How do I even delete this stuff from here? Hide them out. Hide. So let me deploy it again. I don't know why it's not showing the value. I'm coming. So let me delete this. It's showing me total supply here. Okay. Yeah, so let's deploy again. It's not supposed to show me that. So you come here, make sure it's on this, then we pass in this, call it what? Martin, symbol should be MRTS. Then 18, then 10000. That's 100K. Let's make it 1 million. So let's transact. It's going to open my MetaMask. Going to open my MetaMask. I click on confirm. Going to do this. Going to show him pending. It's transacting. Yeah. So it has not transacted. So let's copy. So this is this thing have. So name Martin symbol 18. So yeah. Let's copy this. Let's go to Etherscan and search for it now. Yeah. Sometimes it takes time for it to actually show on the blockchain. So let's give it time. Aha, so it has shown. So you click on this. So now let's bring in our this thing now. So it's supposed to show now, definitely. So let's see tokens, import tokens, contract address. Yeah, next. Aha, you can see it here. Import. Yeah, correct. So I have I don't know what was the problem before, but I have my token here. So let me share the contract address again. So that one that I shared, you guys shouldn't use it. So use this one instead. You guys should delete that one. Hide. So where are they? So you guys should use this one instead. I sent it. I've sent the new contract address. Import it on your wallet. So let me send you some tokens, Johnson. So I'm going to send you some tokens. I'll click on my MTRS, then I'll click on send. So I want to send to Johnson. Yeah, I want to send him some MRT. So I want to send you 100. So I'll click on continue. Click on confirm. Then show pending. So Johnson, you should still show pending to show complete when it's successful. So Johnson, I have sent you. Have you seen the token I sent you, Johnson?
Let me check it.
Yeah, but have you imported the new one that I sent you? I sent you a new contract address.
Yeah, that's what I want to import.
Who else have done it? Okay, this guy sent his own. I did back in. Okay. Let me send you some token too. Send you 100 too. So you can see my money have reduced 999 now. You can see that minus have did there. So yeah, it's working. Next. What should I do? $100. So anybody who imports my contract address, anybody who imports my contract address will get, look at it at the top, I've pinned it. I have pinned it. So anybody who imports it will, okay. Adebakin, I've sent you, go and check. So who have seen theirs? Hello guys, has anybody seen it? Hello. Can I? Is anybody hearing me or?
It is still showing 0 here, but it's already showing the MRTS or what's the name? But it is 0. The value is 0.
It's showing 0.
Yeah, the value is 0. 0 MRTS.
Are you sure? Let me send me your wallet address again. It's supposed to show. This should be your wallet address. This one here. This is the one you should send. Okay, it showed me failed. Sorry. Yeah, let me send this again. It showed me failed. Send this 100. Yeah, it showed failed because I went out from the app. That was why. So what is his name again? Adebakin, check. It's supposed to show now. Johnson, have you seen yours? Adebakin, Johnson, have you guys seen yours?
No, okay, yeah, I've seen it. 100 MRTS.
Yeah, nice. So this is how we
Are these tokens like what can we use it for? Like I use it to deploy contract or whatever.
That was a question I was waiting for. Now, the reason why I don't want to talk much on this is because of people actually use it for scam. You get, they'll be like, okay, Alpha, I can create ERC-20 token. Let's use it to scam people. We'll tell them that look at this token. We have 1,000 MRT. That if they buy your token, if they hold it, they are going to if they wait for Google, the thing is going to pump. Nothing is pumping shit. Yeah, so they actually use it for. You say?
I said CBEX all over again.
Yeah, funny. Yeah, so you should have it in mind that nothing is pumping shit. So please don't use what you are learned for scam, please. I'm begging you, because some people will actually use it for scam. They'll be like, there's this token. If you buy it, they'll not give you the money. They'll not send you the money. When you know that the token doesn't have a value, you get. So now, how do we get a token to have a value? That should be your question now. So a token only has a value only if people see it as a value. Now, if you want to convince person that you have a token, once you show him the token in your wallet, the guy will get convinced and probably you will scam him. But That is not the case here now. Again. So how do tokens get value? It gets values when probably you probably exchanges add your token into their exchange app, then people sees your token as people gives your token an interest. Yeah, from there probably you might get funding, the token might start booming and shit. But by default, your token doesn't have a value, it just has a total supply. How does it get a value? Is when it is listed on exchanges, not just exchanges, other different methods like that. But I won't go into deep on this. I just want to show you guys how to create it. So that is how we create an ERC-720 token. So you can see how fun it is. You can see it was a great experience. Yeah. Johnson, I know this is the kind of topic you guys like.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So, sir, sorry, my question is that now that we deploy Sepolia, if someone wants to interact with it, I know they are still going to use a Sepolia it to interact with that token. So, but then if we want to put it on mainnet, does it really mean that we are going to use real money to deploy it using the it mainnet?
Yes, as long as it's deployed on mainnet, you use real money now, of course. You get if you deploy on mainnet, you use real money to deploy it. Not you have to use real it. You have to have real it in your MetaMask. Yeah. So that is it. Yeah. So you can see that once they upload this video to YouTube and you watch it again, you can see I made every step. So you're going to see every step I took in making it. So this is the manual way. And I actually like the manual way because you can actually manipulate it the way you like. But now, how do we do this using what? OpenZeppelin. We do this using OpenZeppelin. It's simple, very simple. Just go to OpenZeppelin, then Solidity contract. All you need to do is what? ERC-20. All you need to do is what? You just need to copy this. Yeah, I think I wrote it in my. You just need to copy this here. You come here, you copy this. This is very simple. All this is importing it. When we come to our remix, let us comment this. Let us comment everything here. Or let us just create a new file, probably. Let's create a new file called easy ERC20.so. So let us paste that here. So we've pasted that. Now, when we come here, let's put it back to our vacuum. I just want to show you guys an example, not so serious. So we want to initialize the owner. So we want to use this as the owner for now. So when we deploy, it comes there. Now you can see all the functions this comes with. Get. So I think I wrote it in I did all or something. Was it this one? Or was it NFTs? Like it's this one's for NFT. But it should be something like this. You get it? It should be something like this. I think I did that. Did I do it here? Token NFT. I haven't did that set. Let's just send down here. So you just come here. So this one is the easy way for NFTs. These are the easy way for NFTs. So we are supposed to talk about NFT, but before that, we should talk about the easy way to do it with what? The easy way to do it with ERC-20. Like I said, you just go to OpenZeppelin, you copy this here, make sure it's on mint table. You get it's on mint table. That will do this, so we deploy and we click on name. It's showing what my token. This is the token we declared. Is owner, the symbol, total supply is what 0. You get. So this can also work. Coming. This can also work. So we can also deploy this. We can also do this using so we just copy this. Let's deploy. We have to implement that. Okay. Yeah, we haven't actually implemented this stuff. So what was his name? What's his name? I just remember something.
Did you say it should be main table?
Yeah, it should be
And
mint
it is
table.
asking for chain ID. Will I go and copy the chain ID on MetaMask or what?
It's asking for chain ID where?
There's a place for chain ID on the OpenZeppelin, like for the ERC-20 token. There's a place for after the pre-mint. Like if you fill after the pre-mint, you see chain ID underneath it. Pre-mint, you know, there's name, token name, there's symbol, there's pre-mint. If you input that pre-mint, then it will show you chain ID underneath it.
Okay. 1,000. So okay. It's not showing many chain ID. Where is it showing the chain ID?
Maybe you should click on those features. Try to choose mintable, vulnerable, and something like that.
I want to use something outside.
Then input the pre-mint also. Once you input the pre-mint, my own is showing chain ID.
Mine ain't showing nothing. I'm not seeing any chain ID here.
What is the figure you input into the pre-mint?
10,000.
Let me try 10,000. Once I even input one in the pre-mint, it will just show me. Oh, I think it is because I choose the cross-chain bridging. Yeah, it's because I chose cross-chain.
Okay, yeah, that was why. But me, I don't need all this. I just need the mint table. You get. So I want it to have a default of this mint table. So we'll just copy this again.
Access control, Onebushi.
Yeah. So let me paste this. So we're gonna deploy again. What is his name? The one speaking now. Adebakin. I think the reason why that your code was not working before was because of this. Go back to just look at my screen. That one, the reason why when you click on deploy, it's not showing anything because of this. This is your EVM version that is here. When you click on it, when you click on this, you should select
Capcom or something like that.
Yeah, you should select the file you are calling, not any other file. You should select the file you created. You get.
But my own is not even doing like that. My own is say that EVM version. Okay, let me change it at the top. Let me first say MetaMask. Okay, about it. So now, my own is once I over on it, not even without even clicking it, it will just say please make sure that the current network is compatible with this EVM version Capcom. Otherwise, any deployment will fail. It is not even showing me options of.
Okay, you know what? We'll fix that your own later. But now, just look at the easy way. We're importing everything from what OpenZeppelin. So when you click on deploy, it's going to bring out MetaMask option. Then confirm. So it's going to deploy our contracts for us. So it's showing pending. So you can actually change this my token name. You can change all this to your own specified one you want. So when you come here, you click on details, decimals, 18, name, owner. This is me, the owner, then the symbol, then the total supply. Yeah. So let's mint some token. The address now should be my own. So I want to mint 1,000, or is it 1 million? That is that. I don't know. So I want to mint some tokens. Yes. So it's showing pending. Transaction is being. Yeah, we've minted it. So when you click on total supply, we are going to see it has changed from 0 to what? 1 million. And again, all those functions we've written here. You can see them here. Allowance, balance of, transfer from, transfer, approve. You can see it here. Abi? So that they are just the same thing, but the thing is we are doing this one manually. Why then we are using OpenZeppelin here. And OpenZeppelin is more actually secure, actually, sure. So this is highly recommendable. So now let's check it on Etherscan. When I go to Etherscan and I search for this, it's going to show me this address. Copy the address. Then you click on this. So this will be the last one. Then you copy this. Then you go to your MetaMask. I would have really loved to show you guys the NFT part, but we don't have time again at all. So we import token. Then you do this. You can see we have MTK and 18. When we click on this to show the minted token we have, then we click on imports. Yeah. So we've imported what? MTK, MRTS, and everything. So I can actually send you this token. You get it to still work. So you can see the two ways we have on the ERC-20 token. We have what? The easy way, and we have the manual way. Both of them still works. So you can actually come to their GitHub to see how they actually did it themselves. So yeah, nothing much, nothing stressful. So did you guys understand? Hello guys, did you understand to this section? Yeah, Johnson.
Yeah, I actually do. Well, the only thing just now is just not deploying.
I will push it. I will push my code. Then you look at my code. Then you look at yours and see the difference.
Even this ERC, this Zeppelin, this one is just deploying. It's the same thing. All of them they are registered.
I believe you are missing something. There's something you are missing.
This one is even I copied it from OpenZeppelin now, and I chose this ERC-20 out of all the file that is
there. Okay. You know what? Let me push my code now so that it will be updated. Sir. Any question? Hope you guys enjoyed today's class. Okay. And I see some emojis. Okay. Yeah. So let's watch this video later. We're gonna get a better understanding. So let me just push this to GitHub now before I forget, because I might forget definitely. I will forget because I have a lot to do today. So I've staged this. Let me just push add ERC-20 contracts. How do I create a contract? Yes. Oh, open OZ means OpenZeppelin. Doing it manually. So I want to commit this. So I'm going to push to main.
Form.
All right, guys. I have pushed. So later you just, I think the link is on the call. So you just come to my GitHub. You're gonna see. So you can see that it has affected it. So I have pushed it. So later you check my code and everything. Yeah, if on Saturday, probably, I don't know, today's my last class. So we didn't actually talk about NFT. We didn't actually talk about NFT. But yeah, at least if you understand ERC-20 token, NFC is a piece of cake. It's a piece of cake for you. It's not that hard. This is all you need to do. It's the same thing with OpenZeppelin. You just come here. Now, with ERC-721, you just click here, click on Mintable, Ownable, copy it. Then you can add base URL, yeah. Then you copy it. Simple, that is all. I wanted us to use the manual way too. It has a manual way of doing it instead of doing this. So it's your choice now to choose which one you prefer. Either you prefer writing the code by yourself, or you can just go to OpenZeppelin and copy it. But preferably you write it by yourself because at least you learn from it. Yeah. Johnson, yeah.
Okay, sir, please, for the NFT part, for I don't know, from my own suggestion, because I know NFT has a lot of metadata. And when you are building some product that we get a user's details as a metadata. So I don't know if you can schedule maybe a time for us or on the dev hour to teach us the manual way for NFT. Yeah, because the NFT, for me, I think the NFT is more important also, sir. Yeah.
NFT is also important.
Please, are you hearing me? Like, I want to share my screen. I think I got it. I don't know, maybe I'm right. Please.
All right.
Where I just said you are. Like, am I? This is. Why is this one doing that? Oh. I think I'm right like this now. This is the whatever. Then these are the emits. Am I correct? Then view and data scan. Then this is where is the data scan? Sir? I think this is the data scan. Let me share my screen. Let me show you the data scan. Are you seeing anything at all? Hello?
Yeah, I'm seeing your screen.
So I want to show you
no need to show me the data scan, but with what I'm seeing, it seems like you've your code is actually working now. So,
yeah, so let me show you the data scan back.
Oh yeah, now. So guys, okay. So go back to your code and copy the contract address. Let's see.
Okay, the sender address, right?
Yeah, the contract. Go back to the sender address. Yeah.
You want for my MetaMask?
No. Just go back to your code.
Okay. I'm in my code now.
Then copy, scroll down, go to the left hand side. No, left. Yeah, scroll
left
down.
hand side.
Yeah. Then copy the address there after the ERC-7.
Okay,
that
this
one there, yeah, copy it. Then go to data scan.
Okay. I'm in
Then
data scan now.
Put it in that search by address. And to show you something. Wait.
What is this? Ah, oh, verify your own map. Wow. So I won't waste your time. Like after this, what should I do next?
So after this, you click on it will show you your symbol and your name. So you click on that, then you copy the contract address, then you go to your MetaMask and import it.
Okay. Like you imported your shit.
Yeah.
No, I'll do that. And if I have any issue, I'll message you sharp.
No wala. Yeah, so hope you guys understood today's class. And thank you for joining. Yeah, see you guys later or soon.
Sir, please, the deaf hour, sir, please, we are pleading for the NFT. We'll take the deaf hour, sir. Thank you.
Right, so it seems you guys like this NFT very well. All right, I'll just make up time to do that.
Okay, sir, thank you. Thank you. Because, sir, for me, I think the NFT is more important because of that metadata informations. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take up time to take it. Yeah, no wala. All right, see you guys later.